Hi there, guys. Uh, this video, I'm gonna start off like this. Maybe a month or so ago, I was on TikTok. I saw this video that someone shared. Um, it was a woman, younger woman. I must say somewhere 20s, 30s, I'll say. And this woman was like, it was a video basically of her like pouting, folding her arms, I guess just being bratty, which I guess is a thing. And the guy basically, like telling her, wait a minute, hold up, come here, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Whatever. And she was just like, nothing, just kind of mumbling on her breath, whatever, and he was just kind of, don't be mumbling your breath here and blah blah blah, and like, my home is peaceful and you don't come here with all that. And he was just kind of basically talking to her like a kid. And she was like, still had her arms folded and she was pouting and the whole thing. And he was just like, and get your behind in there and make me something to eat or whatever, before something like before I give you something to pout about or something like that. And she gave like a little smile, like a little bad girl smile, and went and like that was the end of the TikTok video. And I saw that and I'm just like, my first thought is, okay, I guess that's a thing, And a lot of the women, of course, because everybody goes to the comments, I went to the comments. And the comments were, a lot of them was like, yes, and okay, and yes, daddy, and oh, we, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I didn't say anything until finally I'm scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Finally, I get to like this lady. Then I think it was a guy who was saying something about if I got to do all that, I don't need you or whatever. And there was a lady who was just like, yeah, no, I don't need nobody talking to me like I'm no kid or whatever. And I was like, finally, finally, because that was my thoughts. Like, my thoughts are like, I don't want no man talking to me like that. Like, talking to me all, like I'm a kid and then tell me, now get yourself in there and get me something to eat before I give you something. Like, dude, no, like, that's not it, you know? So then I have been watching this show that I think I had heard about. I probably just saw it like on Netflix reviews because it's on Netflix. It's called Married at First Sight. And I really just started watching it less than a month ago. I think I started like on season 10 or something like that. Um, and so I thought it was a new show. Come to find out, I'm still late because I think they're on like season 15 or something like that. So I'm just watching and catching up. Right now, I'm on season 11. So season 11, and I don't know, maybe I'll kind of start talking about, the show because I have so many opinions, I really do. I see a good part of doing it like that. I see a bad part of doing it like that. I see so much with the couples, and I think I watch the show to watch people's behavior. That's really what I get out of it. Like, I don't really care who get together, stay together, whatever. If they do, that's good for them, whatever. But I watch human behavior through those people. I watch the men, I watch the women, and I see like I'm starting because I'm only on 2 seasons so far, 10 and 11, and I'm not finished with 11. I'm almost. Uh, but there are two women on season 11, And I'll just go ahead and tell you, it's the one name. And if you haven't seen it, sorry, spoiler alert. Okay, now you know. But there is this woman named Christina who's with this guy named Henry. Henry's he's cute, but he's very awkward and so forth, you know. Um, then there is Miles and, oh, what is that? Karen? Is her name Karen? It's a black lady. But I know his name is Miles. I think her name is Karen, I think. Um, but both of them, the guys. Matter of fact, I think there was a few buttholes, or at least one butthole on season 10, at least. But season 11 here, I see a lot of nice guys, like for real. I just see a lot of nice guys. And I think it is my personal opinion. In my opinion, I think it has a lot to do with them being in the South because they're in New Orleans right now. Taping, you know, and what they taped that in New Orleans. And of course, some of y'all know I lived in New Orleans. That's my second home. Lived in New Orleans for man, like over 10 years. So I love New Orleans, you know. And but it's the Southern men. I have just found in my life, Southern men are just different. They really are. They're different. And I'll say it in a good way. They're different in a good way. Even though I'm not going to get into that. But either way, getting back to these two women, Christina and Karen. I need to find out if that's her name. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on a minute. I need to find out if that is like her name, like for real. I think that's her name. But anyway, so so both of them have said in essence that they want a guy because as they're like going through the show, both of them are just like being really distant and really cold to the guy. Now granted, the guy Henry, he's pretty awkward, he really is. Me personally, I don't know if it's because of my age or my life experience, whatever. I could deal with Henry. I think Henry is just like, you just kind of got to lead the way and just kind of go with it a little bit and he will follow and pay. In my opinion. So I don't see no problem with Henry. Uh but both of them were very standoffish with these guys. Both of them were very like Christina to me is very insulting, very rude, very just kind of mean to Henry. And I think she's like that to get a rise out of him because she know he's not going to really say anything. That's not like his thing. But she did eventually say, though, that she also wanted a man to put her in her place. Same thing with Karen. She was saying the same thing, that she was concerned about Miles' masculinity. She was concerned that he wasn't kind of like man enough to stand up to whatever, to take care of her, to protect her. She felt like, I think she even said she felt like he had feminine traits. Because he was open, because he was emotional, because he was, you know, he let his feelings out. Like he didn't hide his feelings and he showed emotions and he opened up and shared things with her. And I think one of the problems with masculinity is that too few women and men, but too few women really don't know what real true masculinity looks like. Once again, and I've said it before, just like with the divine feminine, it is feminine and masculine. And that's the same thing with masculinity. I think so many of these women just see this toxic masculinity with the loud and the angry and the take charge and you my woman and submit and blah blah blah. And it's like that's not masculinity. Like that's like I don't really know what the hell that is. I mean, but it's too it you still got a softer side to masculinity. It's not going around beating on your chest like Godzilla and just demanding and putting your foot down. But for whatever reason, these women feel that way. And like I said, she told, and I think, well, I'm not going to tell that part, but anyway, um, talking about Karen with Miles, she told him as well, I need a man that's going to be able to put me in my place when I need it. That's all I'm going to say about the show per se. But I was using those as examples because I don't get this. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because these men, there's some, I know it's not the real world. I know it's reality TV. I know it's not the real world. I know that there are not men out here like that, like what I'm saying. But there's a number of them. And it's really sad because, so many of these male gurus, the Kevin Samuels and so forth, his teachings, and they're trying to keep this man's philosophy and basically bullshit going on. There's still these, red pill manosphere. I mean, there's still this toxic BS out here. And a lot of these men are still listening to that, still looking at that. They're still not in reality. I think the tide is slowly changing because divine feminine energy is changing it. And it's going to ultimately change. It's going to be something completely different. But at the moment, it's still going on. And, these women who need a man to put them in their place, man, those are the ones that's keeping progress back. I'm just going to say it. Like, those are the ones who are holding divine feminine back, and actually in so many ways keeping patriarchy as the goalpost. Like, this beating on your chest, need a man to put the woman in the place, and I want something to submit to and all that. To me, that is just, I don't need a man to put me in my place. I don't need a man to put me under his foot, under his hip, under his anything. I need a partner at this point. I've done the submitting in my life. When I was young, that's what I thought marriage was. Like, I was in total submission, just especially in my first marriage. Like, when I got married at 20, I didn't know nothing except the man's supposed to be the head. That's all I knew. So I was very agreeable. I was very uh, really just whatever you want, however you want to do it, just lead, whatever. Just I'm good. I'm behind you. I got your back. Cook, clean, support, whatever. That wasn't good. It wasn't good because at the end of the day, um, I found a man who started to resent me about certain things. Uh, and even in my last marriage, I did the same thing, letting him lead, letting him be the man, let him whatever. And at the end of the day, quite honestly, neither one of these men really knew how to lead. I was just letting them lead because I thought that's what was supposed to happen. They didn't know how to lead, you know. I wound up in a very, very bad situation. Me and my daughter letting this man lead, a very bad situation with my last husband, a situation I had never put myself in, and I would never have gotten into a situation like that. But being the good little submissive sweet little wife that's, just, well, whatever we do, you just make the decision. It didn't turn out good. It really did not turn out good. And at the end of the day, after doing all of that and doing all that sacrificing and, putting my needs on the back burner and just him, first of all, it ended. And second of all that I did was I did nothing really but sacrifice myself and my daughter. And I don't say that in a way that anything at all happened to my daughter. I'm not saying that in that kind of way. I wasn't in no domestic violence. It wasn't anything like that. But it was just myself in a situation that I should not have been in and didn't have to be in if I had been really if I hadn't got myself in the whole thing anyway. It just period. Honestly. Honestly. Um but at the end of the day, I don't think situations like that work. I think situations where the man and the woman are being more of a partnership type situation, you know, she submit, he submit. They understand each other. They talk things out. He don't have to be King Kong and just everything is his way. Everything is just it doesn't work when it's like that, in my opinion. Somebody's going to be very unhappy. Somebody's going to be manipulated and taken advantage of in situations like that. And in my opinion, it's usually the woman. Usually when she is so like that. I know things happen with men because I'm looking at the show. And like these women are just, man, these women, these are some really nice guys. Now I see. Now I'm starting to see where a lot of these guys will, talk about, oh, the nice guys finish last and women dog out the good guys and all this. And it's just like, it's crazy because, I kind of see it. I kind of see, what they're talking about, but at the same time, good women get dogged out too. So it's not like, um, I just think people need to change their traditional beliefs and ways. I think masculinity really needs to be re-examined and understood what it really truly is, what it really truly looks like, just like femininity. We have so many people out there, including women, who they don't even know what femininity looks like. They don't even know that femininity has a what it look like masculine side to it, when it's really not masculine. It's just another aspect of the divine feminine. The divine feminine is not soft, sweet lace frills and just sit back, be quiet, sit down, cross your legs, and don't say. That's not femininity. That's you scared as shit, or you just don't know how to speak up. You have no courage. You have no backbone. That's not what divine feminine is, and we need a good understanding of that. A woman can be fully and completely 100% in her femininity and still have a voice, still have a brain, still have knowledge, still have wisdom, still raise children, still take care of a husband, still have a job, still take care of, I mean, all of these things. I mean, Leave It to Beaver, 1950 something. His mom was not the epitome of femininity, walking around in pearls and just taking care of the fat. That's not femininity. Femininity is also running a company. Femininity is also playing basketball, also playing sports. Also, I mean, we need to be able to, and if a woman, if that part of femininity intimidates a man to the degree that he got to call her masculine, to me, is something wrong with that man. To me, is something wrong with that man. Because a real man is not finna, I mean, if nothing else, it's finna be okay, it's on. We just gonna compete. You know what I'm saying? Like we just finna, like, I'm not finna let you win this basketball game against me. He gonna play as hard as she does, if not hard. You don't just sit back and go, she play basketball, man. She so and so so and so. She must be a dyke, and it's so crazy. I don't see how a woman can a really true divine feminine woman is going to intimidate a man who's walking in his divine masculinity. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. It's either me or somebody got something all completely screwed up. We have the concept completely screwed up. You guys can drop a comment. Let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it. But me as a woman, and I have always been that way, even when I was, younger and didn't know whatever. My husband, when I was married, like they still didn't talk to me crazy. They still didn't, put me in my place. Like I still wasn't in a situation like that. I just did what I thought I was supposed to do, and it wasn't all that other extra crazy mess, like matter of fact, I think actually with my last husband, I think that's how things kind of really began to change with us because, dude had started like acting, like he making me do stuff. Like he says do something and he making me do it. And I remember I had to stop one day and tell him, like, so you think you making me do the things that I do? And he didn't say nothing. He just sat there looking stupid. And I'm just like, okay, well, let me let you know everything that I do for you, for the house, for my daughter, I'm doing it because I want to do it and just because it's just me and it just needs to be done or whatever. Like I'm not doing nothing because I'm intimidated by you or because you making me do like that ain't the case at all. You know what I'm saying? So like at the end, when I look back on a lot of my relationships, I'm going to say probably all of them. I began to reflect and see that, these dudes really didn't know me. Like they really did. They saw who they thought I was and then put me in that box. And I think the end of all of my relationships were because I began to not want to be boxed anymore. Like, I mean, you can think I'm whatever it is you want, but you haven't even taken the time enough to really truly get to know me fully and completely. And it's sad and it's crazy. I didn't realize it at the time, but it's sad and it's crazy because, like I had been married to them and been in long-term relationships with them for a while, and they didn't know nothing about me. They really didn't. And I felt very sad. I felt very let down. I felt very cheated in a way. I felt like, was I not important enough to get to know? Like, you've been with me all this time and you still don't know such and such, you know? I remember, I'm going to share this and then I'm going to go. I remember in my last relationship, my ex began to be really shocked because I guess he thought that I was one way sexually and I'm just, this is just it. That's just you. Not realizing that there's like a whole other side to me. Like I want to explore and be explored sexually in all kinds of ways. Like, not nothing crazy and off the wall, but I'm not just one little whatever. Like there's a whole real true sexual being here. Like I'm a full woman. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I asked him to try a position. And we had been married a while, and it by then was very boring. It was very mundane. Um it was very it wasn't enjoyable to me. I was not I didn't even really want to or whatever half of the time. And then on top of that, we had the whole aspect of him being sick a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I won't get into that, but that was really crazy because like I'm sitting up here, well, I'm not going to get into that. But so I asked him that and his thing, and this was not even no like crazy position. Like this was not even like nothing big. I had done it before, like a while ago, but like when before him, but I had like it wasn't crazy. And so he was just like, wow, you want to do that? You want, and and he made me feel so bad. He made me feel like it was something bad and disgusting. So like I was just like, okay, well, yeah, no, that's all right. And then at the end of it all, he wasn't very well endowed. And so at the end of it all, it was actually the real true fact of the matter was that he didn't feel like he could reach in that position. And I was just like, oh, okay. Because, like, you make me feel bad. Like, you made me feel like I said something nasty and disgusting and, like I'm just some type of super freak, whatever. Like that's just normal. It's just a normal, we're married, we're adults, we whatever. And at the end of the day, it was your deficiency. And you want to put me in a box. And so I don't know. That was a lot of it too that really, things began to come to a head that we just weren't, I wanted more, I needed more, there was so much more to me, that he didn't know, because in my opinion, some of this stuff was stuff we hadn't even discussed. Like, we had never talked about some of these things that, as they begin to just come out and manifest in my personality, then all of a sudden, oh, you changed. Oh, and who are you? And what? It's just like, this just me, you know. So I guess at the end of the day, like, we really seriously need to take time to get to know the people who we are wanting to get into relationships with, because I think that's a real big thing with people and relationships. They don't spend enough time getting to know each other, or they think they know the person, so they go ahead and put them in the box, and this is who you are, and this is what you want, and this is whatever. And with me, and I think with a lot of women, it's the no, that's not it. I mean, come on. And despite the fact that people change, you know what I'm saying? Despite all of that, but like I say, you guys let me know. You guys can, drop a line, hit the notification bell, please. Thank you all for listening and watching. Thank you all for subscribing. But yeah, leave a comment and let me know, about is it a generational thing? With this thing about women wanting to be put in a place, and, what their view of masculinity, what masculinity is and everything. And a guy can't be sweet, nice, and smart and still be masculine. I mean, just let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. And until the next video, see you next time.